Hey guys, what is going on? Welcome back to the portfolio. Welcome back to the channel. Great to have everyone back on the YouTube series. Special thank yous to all the viewers and all the subscribers supporting the channel. Immensely appreciate the support. For today's video, I want to do a video on dividend capture. 3 stocks that have upcoming ex-dividend dates this next week. Essentially, you can jump into the stock, buy the stock for the dividend, qualify for the dividend, and then sell off the stock in the short term to free up that capital to repeat that process the next week and capture more dividends. It's a strategy that does have some downsides, including not being able to qualify the dividends for lower tax rates. But the whole idea is that the amount of dividends that you can capture will outpace and compensate for the higher taxes that you'll have to pay at the end of the year for dividends that are not qualified. But there are 3 stocks this week. Each stock has a little bit different dividend, a little bit different characteristic to the dividend. One stock has a special dividend, another stock has a monthly dividend, and the final stock is what I'd consider more of a blue chip stock that has a quality dividend that you can hold in the portfolio for the longer term. So as you can see here up on screen are the 3 stocks. The first one, Movado Group, has a special dividend this ex-dividend date. Main Street Capital, a business development company that typically has very high dividends, high dividend yield on a monthly basis. And Verizon, a stock I'd consider more of a blue chip stock that you can hold in the portfolio for the longer term. Let's jump into these stocks here. First one is Movado Group. As you can see here, this company makes and distributes watches, quality watches. And you can see here for the longer term, it has been trending down quite considerably. 1 month down 17.43%, 3 months down 11.75%, 1 year, down 27.07%. So this is not a stock that I would consider a long-term buy and hold stock. If we take a look at its dividend, typically around a 5% dividend yield or so. It typically has a 35-cent quarterly dividend, but this next quarter has a special dividend, a $1 special dividend. So the total dividend will be $1.35 with an ex-dividend date on 4/4. So that will be on Tuesday. So essentially, if you buy this stock on Monday, have the portfolio on Tuesday 4/4 or thereafter, you can sell off the stock. You'll still qualify for the $1.35 dividend, and then you can redeploy that capital if you do sell off the stock the next week. Again, the ex-dividend date is on Tuesday 4/4, and the payment date will be 4/19. A $1.35 dividend, $1 special dividend, 35-cent quarterly dividend. And the dividend yield will be about 20% because of that $1 special dividend. So kind of an interesting stock with a special dividend. Not a high quality stock that I hold in the portfolio for the longer term, but definitely an opportunity to capture that dividend. Next stock here is Main Street Capital. If you take a look at the bottom of the screen, this is a business development company. Essentially, it provides financing for other companies. 1 week here you can see up 0.15%, 1 month down 7.11%, 3 months 5.65% in the green, and 1 year 7.2%. I would consider these stocks to be somewhat more of a risky type of investment. It does have a monthly dividend. The dividend is 22.5 cents, typically payable every month. It has a dividend yield around 6 to 7%. This next dividend yield will be 6.8%. The ex-dividend date will be on Wednesday 4/5. So again, if you buy it before Wednesday, on Monday or Tuesday on 4/5, you can sell off the stock or thereafter and still qualify for the dividend, which will be payable on 4/21. So kind of an interesting stock, and you can hold this in the portfolio longer term. Again, monthly dividend, and the dividend, unlike some of the other companies that you can jump into like Verizon, won't always be a qualified dividend, even if you have it in the portfolio for the longer term. The last stock here, Verizon VZ. This is a telecommunications company. Typically, these companies have very good dividends. As you can see here, dividend yield 6.6%. Verizon will have an ex-dividend date on Thursday 4/6, 65% per share, 6.8% dividend yield. So again, if you buy this stock on Monday, Tuesday, or Wednesday, you can sell off on Thursday or thereafter, still qualify for the dividend, which will be payable on 5/1. So kind of 3 interesting stocks here: Verizon, Main Street Capital, and Movado Group. First one with a special dividend, the second one with a monthly dividend, typically a higher dividend yield than a blue chip stock, and then Verizon on the bottom, a blue chip stock that's a telecommunications company that typically has higher dividends than most other companies that do pay out quarterly. So MOV, MAIN, and VZ, 3 stocks that potentially utilize in a dividend capture type of strategy. And again, if you do buy the stock, qualify for the dividend, and then sell it off in the short term, you won't have qualified dividends So you'll have to pay higher tax rates. If you're in the highest tax rate, for example, instead of paying 20% on your capital gains, you'll have to pay 40%. So it can have some implications at tax time, but if you can reliably repeat this process every week, freeing up your capital to continually capture dividends, it can compensate for the higher tax rates that you do have to pay at the end of the year. But just quickly wanted to go over 3 stocks this next week that you can do dividend capture in. With that, I'll end this video. Again, if you guys enjoyed the video series, if you guys enjoy the content on the channel, feel free to like, share, and subscribe. Until the next video, we'll see you then.